Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and I have no self-control because I have another book haul today. These are all books that I have purchased from December 31st through February, what is today? February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, if that matters to you. I have no self-control, and I got gift cards, and instead of using those gift cards to spend the money that I would have normally spent in books, I spent the money that I would have normally spent in books and bought stuff with the gift cards because I have no self-control. So we're going to get started because I got a shitload of books, y'all. It's ridiculous. The first book that I have, I actually wanted to give away from Goodreads, and that is, what is this? Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is the art cover. I thought I was going to get the actual cover, so when I opened up the package and I got it, I was like, what the hell is this? And I actually got this earlier in December. I may have gotten this in November because Goodreads was already sending me an email asking me if I've read it yet, and I haven't. Goodreads, if you're watching this, I haven't. I will get to it, and when I do, I will do a review on Goodreads like you want me to. Okay? The next set of books I got from Goodwill. Multiple trips to Goodwill. I have been going off and on for a while looking for something in particular, but of course every time I go in I look at the books because I have no self-control. It's not a secret. So I have Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I have been trying to find this book in this edition since I mistakenly returned my book from my junior year back to school and when I was in high school. I read this as, I don't even remember if it was in my honors English class or my theory of knowledge class, but I read this when I was in high school, and from what I got of it, you know how when you read things when you're younger, you don't get everything out of it that you're supposed to get out of it, and as I thought about it as I got older, I knew that and I wanted to read it again, and then found out I didn't have my copy. So I had been looking and looking for it, and I wanted this edition, and I just lucked up one day and walked into Goodwill. They didn't have what I went looking for, but they did have this. Then I picked up Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul. I have been looking for one of the older Chicken Soup books, any of them, for quite some time, and just, again, haven't had luck finding them. I thought about ordering them. It's a little toasty. I thought about ordering them online, and I just didn't want to have to go, I didn't want to go through that. I wanted to make it simple, and you can't get any more simple than $1 at Goodwill. And then I went back, and on the visit where I found what I was looking for, in the storage options section, I found what I was looking for, and then I went to look at the books, and they had an Isabel Allende book, and I have been wanting to read something by her for quite some time, and this is Daughter of Fortune. I don't know what it's about. I haven't heard anything about it. I'm going into this completely blind, and I'm okay with that. But I really do look forward to reading this because I have been wanting to read something by her. I've heard nothing but good things about her work, and so excited. Then I went to my comic book store, and I love saying that I went to my comic book store. Like, it's not my comic book store, but I go there because it's close by, so it's mine. Anyway, I went to my comic book store, and I got a couple of single issues and a trade. I got the first issue of Bitch Planet, which I wanted to read, like, the first issue instead of buying the trade first because I've heard mixed opinions on it, and so I want to read the first issue and see what I think about it, and then I would decide whether or not I am going to get the trade. I picked up Belladonna. This is issue 0. I know absolutely nothing about this comic. It's issue 0, so this is the first one, and when I saw it, it's a muscular chick on the front with a sword. I love bitches who kick ass. I mean, just see what happens. And I have all of these stacked on my lap, and I am 5'1", which means that my lap really is not stackable. So at this point, nothing is safe. And then I have, in the rest of the single issues, I have The Tithe, issue 1. Don't know what it's about. I heard a few things that, not necessarily about the actual story or the plot, but I've heard that some of the people who have read it enjoyed it, so I picked up issue 1 and issue 2. And then I picked up issue 2 and issue number 3 of The Mighty Thor. I read issue 1 and loved it. At this point, I might as well wait for the trade, but I'm impatient, and I have a comic book store that keeps good stock of new issues, so I don't have a problem getting them, and it's just great. And then I picked up Low by Rick Remender and Greg Tocchini. I've heard mixed opinions of this, that the story is not that great, but the artwork is great. I went ahead and picked it up because I wanted to see what it was about, and I was curious. And then also when I went, I got Game Trade magazine, and then the comic preview books, which, because I am a member, I have a membership with my comic book store, I get these for free, and so I picked them up, and this could be like the beginning of very, 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 very bad things, because it's comic previews. And I have to say thank you to BookTube for getting me back into reading comics, because I read them a lot when I was a kid and then got out of them, like I guess in middle school, like my 8th grade year in middle school, and I am loving jumping back into these. These I'm about to show you, I know for sure I got from Amazon, because that's where I bought them from. But it's season 9 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is only 5 graphic novels, so I just went ahead and bought all 5 because I have no self-control. Volume 1, which is Free Fall. Volume 2, On Your Own. Volume 3, Guarded. Volume 4, Welcome to the Team. And Volume 5, The Core. I will probably have read at least half of these by the time I upload this video. And then I got the Harry Potter coloring book. I bought this on Amazon right before the Harry Potter Magical Creatures coloring book came out, and now I kind of want that too, but I have 4 coloring books, and I don't need a 5th one. Now that the Magical Creatures one has been released, it's not going to be sucked back up into the abyss of waiting for it to come out again. So, like, I can wait. I'm trying to exercise some self-control. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think I got all 9 of these books from Book Outlet. I'm not 100% sure. I may have, because if you didn't know or didn't take advantage of it, Book Outlet had a Boxing Day sale at the end of the year, and when I first went looking, I didn't see anything that I was really interested in, and then I started looking at people's hauls for people who had already purchased for the Boxing Day sale, and I was like, wait a minute, that was not in the listing of the things, like when you go and you enter in your search, or you select the category that you want to search in, and you go through the pages, though some of the books that they were showing were not in the options that were given when I went on. So I went back and went bananas. I picked up Night Song by Beverly Jenkins. I have only read 1 romance novel by Beverly Jenkins, and I feel like I'm losing something, or I'm missing something. I'm having major FOMO, because she's a very good romance novel, and it's like historical fiction romance, so it's not common day, or it's not our time romance, and I've heard so many good things about her, and my mother really enjoyed her when I was younger, and she had time to read. She doesn't make time to read these days, but she really enjoyed her as well, so I went ahead and picked this up, and hopefully that will start a new trend for me to get into some other authors. I picked up Daughter by Asha Bandele, and this is because of Lady over at Freeform Lady and Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading, because they had so many good things to say about this novel, and I had never heard about this before Freeform Lady mentioned it in one of the videos that she did last year, and I was like, and she mentioned it around the time that I was reading Stand Your Ground by Victoria Christopher Murray, and I just didn't want to take in another novel that was kind of along that vein, even though this was written first. And then Dee Dee read it, and then Dee Dee read Stand Your Ground and did not like it at all, and said that there really was no comparison as far as the story composition and how Daughter is written goes. So now, after hearing her say that, not that it would change my opinion of Victoria Christopher Murray because I love her, but I really wanted to read it after hearing Dee Dee's analysis of the two. So, yeah, I went ahead and picked that up. I got After You'd Gone by Maggie O'Farrell. I read Instructions for a Heat Wave by Maggie O'Farrell last year and loved it. I have a review of it that I will link above. If you are interested in checking that out, please do. And I really want to read something else by her, and so I went ahead and picked this up when I was able to find it. And yeah, I really wanted to read something else by her. I don't know what this is about. It was between this and something else, and this intrigued me more. They had two titles by Maggie O'Farrell at Book Outlet, and this one seemed more appealing to me than the other one as far as the story that I would be interested in. So I went ahead and picked this one up, but I don't really remember what the synopsis is. Let's see. If you don't want to hear this, you can skip ahead. Alice Rakes boards a train to visit her sisters in Scotland. Hours later, she steps into traffic on a busy London road and is taken to a hospital in a coma. Who or what did she see in Edinburgh that made her return to London so suddenly? Was the accident a suicide attempt, and what exactly do the members of her family waiting at her bedside have to hide? Sliding between different levels of consciousness, Alice listens to the conversations around her and begins sifting through recollections of her past and a recently curtailed love affair. That's why I picked this up, because this is another family drama, and Instructions for a Heat Wave was a family drama as well, and it was done so well. I don't read a lot of literary fiction. If I have uploaded my review of Purple Hibiscus before this goes up, I don't read a lot of literary fiction, and I really enjoyed Instructions for a Heat Wave, and so I know that she is for me, and so I went ahead and picked this up. Then I got Brown Girl in the Ring by Nalo Hopkinson. I am completely at a deficit when it comes to reading African American science fiction. The author that I have read is Octavia E. Butler, and you have heard me gush about her time and time again. I won't do that now, I promise. But I need to read some others, and not knowing for so long that there were other African American science fiction writers out there, I just really found out maybe about 4 or 5 years ago that some authors I heard about I didn't know were black, like N.K. Jemisin, and then I had never heard of Nalo Hopkinson or Nnedi Okorafor. So I am looking into reading books by them so that I can get beyond Octavia Butler, because while I love Octavia Butler, she's not here no more. That's my mama. It takes everything in me not to answer. Then I picked up, like I went to the store, but I got The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. And this was a hardcover scratch and dent, and I can't even tell you how much I paid for this. It was ridiculously on sale. And this is actually the first scratch and dent novel that I have bought from Book Outlet where you can actually see the issues. I don't know if this is coming through on the camera, but you can actually see the issues with the wear and tear on the dust jacket. And I'm okay with that because, again, it's got a map. I hadn't even looked at this. I'm okay with that because I paid, it's ridiculous how much I paid for this. So I'm okay with that, but just if you have never ordered from Book Outlet, I know some places can seem a little too good to be true. I have ordered from thrift books. That experience was not as pleasurable as I would have liked it to be, and the books really did have some major wear and tear on them. But the majority of the books that I order from Book Outlet, even when they say they're scratch and dent, they're still in very good condition. And this is what they call, for the most part, a scratch and dent. There's a little tear right there, and then there's some, like the dust jacket is not in pristine, shiny condition. I'm okay with that. So if you've never ordered from Book Outlet before and you're wondering what it's like, this is what it's like. In this next book, you can see it as well. I also picked up Some Cry by Ntozake Shange. I'm saying that wrong probably. And Ifa Baeza. I was supposed to read this as a buddy read last year with Dee Dee, and I can't remember who the second person is. I kind of want to say Dominique from the Storyscape, but I don't think that's right. But I didn't get to it, and I borrowed it as a library book, and then I had to return it to the library because there were other people who were waiting for it. And so I was waiting for it to come back around to me because I placed it on hold again, and then I went to the Boxing Day sale, and it was cheaper than dirt on Book Outlet. Like, to say dirt cheap is not doing it justice. And again, this is a scratch and dent copy, and you can really see the wear and tear on this one as well. There's some smudging of the cover here, as well as here, and at the bottom on the top. But other than that, the book is in pretty good condition. And like I said on The Grace of Kings, I'm okay with that. Next, I picked up 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander Smith. I have been waiting to get this for so long. It's ridiculous. And I wasn't even waiting for this to come out on Book Outlet. I was just biding my time to purchase it because I wanted it in this cover and I wanted it in the hardback. I did not want it on my Kindle because when it was first released, it was released in ebook format, and then Dee Dee at Brown Girl Reading read it, reviewed it, really liked it, and a few other people that I follow, like on Facebook, read it and really liked it, but I didn't want it in ebook form. And then when she got her copy, I think the author sent her a copy for her bookshelf. And when I saw the cover, I was like, oh my God, I want that cover. And so I had been waiting, and then it was on Book Outlet. Wait no more. Next, I got The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Cheaper than dirt on Book Outlet. Pure curiosity, because so many of the booktubers that I follow, or even just people whose channel I've gone in and seen, or that show up in my suggestions, that's it, for YouTube, have read this and had good things to say about it, and I'm reading the second novel now. And so I was just really curious to see what it was about, and for, again, the cost of it on Book Outlet, I couldn't pass it up. Why pass it up if I didn't need to? And I have no self-control, so I bought it. Then I bought Forge of Darkness by Steven Erikson, and I don't know if I heard about somebody reading this on one of the SFF YouTubers that I follow, or if I'd heard his name so much I wanted to try something. Okay, yes, I have heard about him from Bitten by Radioactive Book, as well as Caitlin over at Kitty G, because Steven Erikson is the author of The Malazan and the Book of the Fallen, or one of the authors in that huge series that they have read and for the most part loved. And this is a prequel. He's introducing a character in this story and introducing the world that is presented in Malazan, Book of the Fallen, but this is written after that, if that makes any sense. The Malazan Book of the Fallen series is ridiculously long. I don't know if I will ever read it, but I thought once I read what this was about, I thought that this would be a good way for me to get a peek into that world and see about it. But the series is like crazy long and the books are ginormous. Alright, now we have just kind of an unboxing. I ordered, and I know exactly what this is. It was a pre-order that I used my gift card I got for Barnes & Noble, and I have to say, this was probably, and this doesn't even have a pull tag for me to open the fucking box. This was probably my worst Barnes & Noble buying experience online ever. I don't know if it sucked. Contacting them 4 and 5 times because there was an issue when they were trying to process the payment, and I was using their gift card for the fucking purchase. Why do I have to keep contacting you because you're sending me emails that my method of payment couldn't be approved? It's a gift card. A Barnes & Noble gift card. You need to get your shit straight. I shouldn't have to call you to fix it. So I don't know if I will be ordering from Barnes & Noble online much more after this because it was just absolutely ridiculous. But I pre-ordered volume 4 of Lazarus. This one is titled Poison, and that was another issue that I had. I pre-ordered it. It came out on the 27th of January, but they didn't ship it until February 9th. What the fuck? Yeah. So, but I have it now, and this will probably be read as well by the time I upload this video. And then the rest of the Barnes & Noble order, which came separately, and I ended up canceling part of this order because of the issues I was having with Barnes & Noble. I had ordered the first book in the Parasol Protectorate series by Gail Carriger, and it was going through the exact same issue with them being able to process my gift card as it was with this order. And all of this was placed together, but it would have been 3 separate deliveries because Barnes & Noble couldn't get their shit together. But anyway, so Gail Carriger can fuss at Barnes & Noble for not getting their shit together. What the fuck? Yeah, y'all seeing this is like brand new Tot. I'm sorry. Y'all not used to seeing this. This is some bullshit right here. Number one, the box wasn't even closed completely. And then this is what the fuck you send me? I'm going to be calling Barnes & Noble again. This is Valor by John Gwynne. Barnes & Noble, you is shit in my book. Absolute shit. Then I purchased The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. I did not know this book was this small, but yeah, I wanted it. So I got it. And that just like fucked up the whole tone of the rest of this haul because that's pissing me off. Then I got The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I do want to watch the series, but I wanted to read the book first, and I think I will be reading this next month. Mickey asked about doing a buddy read on this as well, and so I'm all for it because she wanted to read it in March. So I'm all for a magical March. So yeah, that is the end of my shitload of books in this book haul. I'm gonna go because I'm about to call Barnes & Noble and start some shit. You all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.